one solution for all. So
at least there was someone who tried it. I think there's a data. It's not Cockroach DB. What was it? There's a database that has more or less SQL one and non-SQL one and a graph one built into one database application.
Not CouchDB?
No. It was. We'll find it and then I will tell you about it. I don't know the name of
and then my other problem is exactly if there is such a database, how can you install it? Because if you're a new user and you get any web server, usually it comes with, I don't know, MySQL, Postgres perhaps, and Mongo, and that's it. And what I'm dreaming of is just, and what is very important for my product is that you just have to type npm install redactor and that's it, because what I want the user to do is just make a click, then it spins up a virtual node server and gives it a domain, which is just a subdomain for now, but he can choose his own domain, so that the user has this experience as if he would do a Google account or so. But basically what he does is having his own server just for testing, and then if he likes the product, he can host it for himself or do anything. But what is very important for me is that there is no traction, there is no problem and so on. Because look, Mastodon got 1.7 million users in a very short period of time, and that is all due to the fact that you just have to click and Mastodon is ready for you, is my feeling. But
so you want a one-click start your own instance.
Yeah, and since the database is a part of it, it has to be easily installable, and you don't have to
have a look at this one. I haven't tried it myself.
I've heard
viewed a few videos about it. They try to do everything. It's non-SQL, cluster, graph, everything you want.
Thank you.
Yeah, to go back to the event sourcing thing, I've been thinking about that one as well. What I came up with, and I'm still not decided whether or not that was useful. First, I should say that I should just this folder structure, but there is also at this point an SQLite database that gets updated every time one of those posts get updated. So the source of truth is those files.
Okay.
No, those files are the source of truth, but I index them in the file so I can search over them because I've imported my full Twitter account, so it would actually not be doable to search anything without a database in a sort of index. So that's one thing, and now I was kind of thinking about whether I could make something that just would, when I update the post, that it would do a git commit. Because Git is already a sort of event source thing where you get the you store every revision and then you store also the current state, which you can get to any point in that state just by doing that. So that was another point that I was thinking about doing. Then I can just keep because the nice thing about event sourcing is that you got all these things, and you really have there is no, you don't lose state. If you update the post, you still have the old post. And the sad thing is that it's harder to maintain as a user. I mean, I like the fact that I can just open a folder, grab a file, open a text editor, and type something in it. And I mean, if I do the Git thing, I need to also get committed on Git, but it's
I think the difference would be
Git yourself. You could put a Git server on your server.
Yeah. I literally just that was the plugin for Laravel I wrote was a local storage that just had a Git repository locally, and it doesn't push to anything. It's just a local Git repository.
Okay, because I thought of a node server, the official Git node server.
No, I don't want any. No, it's just
plain.
Just one Git. Yeah.
I think the difference would be that you already then we already decided what the ready arrangement would look like, because you're more or less, you don't lose any revision, you don't lose any change, but it's still like you would save a post, and for example, if what is it? someone web mentions you, you would add the web mention information to the post.
Oh yeah, that I.
If you decide, okay, build a page which lists all the, you now get all the web mention events, because you're not really saving web mention events, you're saving the revisions on your post.
That's right.
Because you already decided what's the end, what is it called? Not mutation, but arrangement is of your event data, because you already decided to arrange it as a post, and you can't really easily change this later.
On the other hand, if I write a post, how else would I arrange it?
Yeah, maybe in prompt or.
But then, if I'm right, you could pull out all the web mentions by one person or by one site if you store them separately.
Yeah, exactly.
But if you store them in the post,
it's a little bit hard because you already
do that so easily.
That's.
I mean, I can't think of a use for that now, but
that is one use case.
I think one.
Also, what I wanted, I mean, yeah.
if you just make a sort of a linter for yourself or a parser that's actually checking your syntax while you, or right after, before you save, and you check the syntax and it says, well, it's invalid, please check it.
Right.
That would be, then you don't have the problem I have sometimes, that your site is broken because you missed a comma, and then it might actually work. I think, and especially with the front matter thing, then you can just, if if you're just writing text, then you can just write the text in Markdown on the bottom.
Okay.
That's, I think you can be pretty quick with that.
Generally, I would go with one system that has more or less more in the direction of one file per post. I think it's a little bit easier to handle, and I think the idea of front matter and having those split up files really works well. With this on our company homepage, we also use static site generator. It really works well for writing. It makes it a lot easier, because then it's not like working a huge file, and if you miss something, nothing works. So you just have one new post, you set up a new file.
Yeah, that's a pro of having multiple files. Is that when you break one, the rest of your site is still.
Yeah. So there are lots of validators for YAML. Like I've never used them, but
I think it's sometimes hard because when you when you don't have the indent right, then doesn't always know that maybe post has to go a little bit deeper and it's not allowed on this level, or the date is now on the level with the posts. And
this YACL front matter. Is that what you're talking about?
it's just a general idea that Jekyll uses it as well.
Okay.
So the general idea is you have one file, and in the top you have some metadata, and it's somehow separated from the rest of the content of the page.
Yeah, with this little lines, right? Yeah.
And then they differ on how to structure the content and how to structure the metadata, and depending on what system you're using, what you are allowed to put in the front matter.
you can pass the YAML string as PHP.
Okay. Yeah, but you need a HECL extension. So it's a extension.
Okay, so it's an
if you got that one, then it works, but it's
Okay.
not always around.
Yeah, it's not native.
Yeah, but it's not that hard to install add-ons to your PHP. But at least you have to manage your own server, because otherwise you won't get it.
Right.
So if you're on
That's
a shared
the problem
host,
is what is your provider giving you with PHP?
Yeah.
This way then.
Oh, okay. But I think we are also more or less out of time.
Yeah, we're in the last 5 minutes. I really want to thank everyone for their input.
No. Go away.
If you double press one of these keys, I don't know.
yeah,
If you really go a little bit more in the...
did you know that? You can, in the terminal, you can say and then do
Oh,
a
yeah.
Okay, sorry.
If you do something a little bit more with event sourcing, I really like to hear what you're doing.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I'm really much interested in trying it and
Yeah,
getting feedback or hearing how other people try it. I still like the idea.
I'm still wondering about it because it looks so cool, but I think it's overkill for a web blog.
Of course it is.
And that's the problem. I mean, in your events, you still have to store the whole body of the post. When you write such a blog item, then you have to store the whole thing. And when you when you change like one thing, do you say, oh yeah, the content changed, or do you say, oh, there is a div in the
no clue.
And this is all problems that Git has already solved for text, and
I'm more interested in having the event as a starting point, because if I have something like events that say new post created or new incoming web mention, then I would be interested in having a system that is capable of reacting to those events. So I could write in an ideal world, I would have little parts of code that, for example, each time a new blog post is.
Sorry.
What's the problem with the extra
It's harder to store, and you have to do more work to aggregate your data afterwards. Because
because if you would say if for example if a web mention arrives in my database or so, or do you mean by the file system? You code Node as well, right? Or,
yeah.
Okay. Then, for example, if it arrives in the file system, it could save the data you need for your live system in a database, and write just a JSON file for backup, which my idea is like the solid server or so would handle it with the RDF lib, that I store the linked data post anywhere, for example in Dropbox or whatever, just as a backup, that is a JSON, and the other thing goes to my live system in the database.
Yeah, then you do. When I understand it right, you do a little bit of both then. It's just, but the point would be for me, I like the idea of having those events in the first place, and then reacting to it. So I would have asynchronous system where a new blog post would start, the event of a new blog post would start the next code that looks through the blog post and sees, oh, I have to send web mentions to this size because they're mentioned.
Yeah, but there is event driven and event sourced.
Yeah,
and it seems like you want event driven here, and I'm totally go for it because it's really nice. But event sourced is actually like storing the things and then replaying the things to get the new state. And
at the end, you're right. I want one part to have it easier and use it at the same time for the second part.
Yeah, but you can make the distinction between content. At least that's what I'm thinking. I might do that because I don't really want to store the web mention in. For me, the web mention is not part of the content of my post.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm still wondering whether or not at this point, I store, if I mention a link, my site goes to X-Ray and fetches the information about that link, and then it stores that. And if there's a photograph, it stores that as well. So in that way, if I like something on Instagram, I get the post, and I actually store, and I don't display it to anyone, but my site has the post I liked.
Yeah,
that's nice.
Something I want.
I think that part is actually part of the content of the post, because I liked a post, but it's still not kind of part of the post. But especially if someone else mentioned me, that's not part of my post. So I want to store it in a different thing, and I can see that part indeed. I can see my web mentions be event sourced. That would be a nice thing, but that's the thing I'm thinking about.
Maybe I should more think about separating those two things, and then my life would be much easier.
Yeah. If it's it kind of looks like three things, and maybe both two things can, like, external content and your content might get the same thing.
I'm very sorry to have to inform you.
Okay.
This session is over.
Good session. Good session.
Thank you.
Do we turn this off?
Oh. Keep it
No,
running.
Keep it running. Don't touch anything.